What's going on, people? Welcome to the player ratings. It is Palace 4, Norwich 0. We progress to the third round of the Carabao Cup, and I'm joined by Patrick here to discuss all of the individual performances. As always, let us know your ratings in the comment section down below. If you do enjoy this, hit the like button, subscribe, and you know what? Let's not waste any time and let's get straight into it, Patrick, because we spoke about in the live match reaction. Make sure to check that out if you haven't already done so, about the overall performance of some of these players. But now it's time to crunch into the numbers and the performances. Let's start it off with Hendo, Dino, whatever you want to call him. All I have to say is clean sheet, Patrick. I give him a 9. You gave him 7.5. Massive save in the second half to prevent Norwich from scoring. And that is the reason for my rating. When he was called upon, he delivered. We kept the clean sheet, and it was a very good performance, in my opinion.
No, 100%. Honestly, I probably should have gave him higher. I'm a little bit tougher on Henderson because he only made 3 saves. They were all massive saves. The one in the 6th minute, and then a double save that he made in the second half. But again, clean sheet, played really well. But what was most impressive for me, D, was distribution, passing. 19 out of 20, one bad pass. You know what I mean? So from that standpoint, but I think we made an effort, by the way, to go a lot shorter on the passing. Play it to Guehi, play it to Richards, play it to Riyad, play it to Klein, and not go long. So, but as far as him today, great effort by him. So yeah.
Yeah, and in first half, as you mentioned, great save there as well. Great save in both half. Great distribution. Could have maybe gave him a 10. 4-0 as well. So yeah, fantastic performance from him. Danny Munoz gave him a 7. He was involved even in the first half as well, going up the pitch with on Daichi's side. But in the second half, just as the overall team did, I think he grew into the game. In terms of the actual stats, 91% passing accuracy, so very accurate there. Crosses, only 1 attempt, 0 accurate crosses, which is surprising, to be fair. Munoz only having 1 attempt in terms of crosses, because you would expect him to have more. But for me, he's pressing off the ball. I mean, I was sitting next to someone who is not a Palace fan, and I did say before the game, like, don't be surprised if he goes from right wing back to all the way to the other side of the pitch, and that's what he done. Good performance, good overall performance. Maybe he could have offered a bit more in terms of actual crosses into the box.
Yeah, but what I like from him was the working with Kamada. You can see it's starting to come together with him and Kamada. I saw there was a much more of an effort for Kamada to come inside or underlap, while obviously Munoz overlapped. And again, he didn't put crosses in, but he was involved in some 1-2s and creating stuff on the right side. That's what I need to see. I need to see Kamada and Munoz build a relationship, because last year Munoz and Lise was so good, and I think that with time Kamada and Munoz could have the same relationship. But I thought he had a very solid game today. Part of a clean sheet, so well played for Munoz today.
Yeah, Nathaniel Klein, he came into the side, started down the right hand side as a right centre back, and he got done in the first half. You gave him 6, I gave him 7. But apart from that, he was solid. He was very solid. His pace came good for us. How comes you gave him a 6?
It was just that I thought that Hernandez gave him a hard time. I didn't think Mitchell had a hard time at all with the player on the right side. I don't even know who it was for Norwich. I know Norwich side pretty well. But O'Neill Hernandez, he nutmegged Klein in the first half. But defensively, it was solid beside that. Listen, he hasn't played his first start all season, so I'm not trying to kill him. I thought he played well again. He went 87% passing accuracy, 6 recoveries, but he got dribble pass 4 times in that game, and he lost 5 duels. So that standpoint, it wasn't great. But again, his first game, I like him at right center back because he's a little quicker and more defense oriented than other players that play there. So again, for the first game, I mean, to me, he was fine. Again, I thought Hernandez gave him a hard time, but I'm not trying to kill Klein. I thought he had a solid game overall for us.
Yeah, overall. Moving on to Guehi,
Woo!
10 out of 10 for me.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
10 out of 10, 7.5.
Okay, let's discuss.
I mean, in terms of numbers, 92% passing accuracy, 102 touches, very involved, 3 out of 4 ground duels won. We've got 2 out of 2 aerial duels won. Overall, rock solid at the back, and that is the reason why you cannot sell our captain, Guehi.
There it is. Okay. There's definitely some transfer bias in your score because I thought Guehi played really well today. A 10 out of 10. I would an 8.5 out of 10, maybe 10 out of 10. But listen,
No, what else
I'm
could he
with
have
you.
done?
No, I'm with you. I thought he played really well. I don't think it was a 10 out of 10. I've
12
seen
out
Guehi
of
play better.
16 long balls accurate, by the way.
Correct. And I gave that stat, by the way, in the match reaction show. So
Yep.
thanks for stealing it. But listen, I thought he played really well. Don't get me listen. He played great. But I'm not sure it's 10 out of 10. I've seen him play better. So, but again, you want to say it was a 10 out of 10. I'm not arguing with you. I'm not sure if it's a 10. I would say if you gave him a 9, and I gave him an 8.5, but a 10, I think you're a little giddy about. But I get it. It's the whole he might be leaving. You feel kind of bad. You're gonna miss him type thing. I get it. But again, 10 out of 10. I'm not gonna argue with you. Great,
He's not leaving.
Great rating.
You can't leave. You can't leave. We'll be absolutely silly to sell him at this point of the window. Chad Riyadh, unfortunate injury for him. We gave him a 5 because he didn't play. It's not like he had an average performance. He didn't play, and if we had to give a rating, it's 5. Hopefully, he heals and recovers from that. It seems like a ligament injury for now, but we'll see if he's available for Chelsea. It's looking unlikely, but thoughts and prayers to him. And it shows, talking about Guehi, 10 out of 10, and talking about needed for replacements, it maybe this Riyadh injury keeps us a bit more worried and on our toes to keep Mark Guehi. But hopefully he recovers. There's nothing to add about him. Mitchell, similar to Munoz, to be fair. I think in the second half especially, I thought he got way more involved. And finally, Eze was finding him, which, that's been a discussion point as well for a few weeks. 80% passing accuracy, 52 touches, so solid there as well. Crosses attempted, 4. So, second half better than the first half.
Yeah, funny you said that, Dee, because my comment was more involved second half with some good crosses to create chances for Munoz. So you're absolutely right. I thought second half was much better. He was part of the goal for Mateta. He made the pass to Eze, who made the pass to Mateta for that goal. Part of a clean sheet, 2 clearances, 4 recoveries. Solid by Mitchell. All I need Mitchell to do is to just get a little more accurate on his crosses. But as far as getting forward and defending and being part of the build-up, he's good. And again, I like the fact that I thought Eze was much more aware of Mitchell and played him more balls to him, getting more involved in the attack. So I thought Mitchell, again, solid game today. Very solid.
Yeah, very solid. And hopefully, let's see if we can find him a backup option.
Yes,
very before important. The window ends.
I agree.
As well, because that is the only problem with him. Moving on to the midfield, Will Hughes. 8. I give him an 8. You give him a 7. In the first half, he was bossing it. In fact, there was nothing wrong with his performance. I thought he was getting on the ball, picking up passes, doing the dirty work defensively as well. I don't know if the stats back it up, but 91% passing accuracy, 62 touches, 2 out of 4 ground duels won. This is the Will Hughes under Oliver Glasner. Performed once again and performed very good, in my opinion, before getting subbed off.
Yeah, no issue. The only thing I'm going to say, it's not how he plays, because he was very good passing-wise. The stats say he was very good defensively. The stats say it with the recoveries, etc. It's just the one thing that's different between him and Wharton is that Wharton looks for those, and you saw in the second half, those progressive D forward passes that kind of break the lines, and Hughes doesn't do that. He did when he was younger, doesn't do it anymore, which is fine because that's what he wants to. He wants to hit the ball. So he wants to give the ball to Eze, shorter, or give it to somebody wide, maybe even to
switches as well to the flanks, to the wing backs as well.
Yes,
I didn't notice
exactly.
That.
But he's not playing. I agree, but he's not playing those balls up to either Eze making a run in behind or Mateta.
Well, I don't think he's got ability. That's the thing. I think that's
not
different between Wharton and him.
It's not a critique. It's just a different player. I'm not critiquing. I'm just saying that's what I mean. But no, I thought he had a very solid game today. And again, what I really like was on the first goal, he was involved in the pass to Mateta that got to Kamada that was him that played the ball to Mateta. That was really good. And the second goal, short corner, score from a corner, D. Short corner by Hughes to Kamada.
We did.
Yeah,
apparently, okay, let me quickly ask you this question. There was someone who I was sitting next to, and they actually had a stat. Do you know how many attempts it was before we scored from a corner?
I don't believe it. 330, but that's way too many. It can't be that many. Seriously? It was 330, right?
Someone apparently had a spreadsheet.
I know, that's mad. That's mad.
Yeah.
So I know. I saw it too.
So yeah.
So
we've done it. We've done it. Miracles are gonna happen. We finally scored from a corner. Expect miracles this season.
Great routine, by the way. Great routine.
he started today. He started, which I was
Yeah.
very happy about. You gave him a 6, I gave him a 7. I felt like in the second half, he kind of got more into it. I think Will, who's kind of carried the first half work. In the first half, he was a bit sluggish, and you kind of understand why he hasn't been starting games. But fingers crossed, Chelsea, and then maybe after the international break, we do need him because we saw glimpses of the old Czech Doucoure as well.
Yeah. Had a shot in the first half, 21st minute, was easily saved. 92% passing, right up there with Czech always does. 6 recoveries. Again, he's just a bit rusty, but it's coming. It's coming because again, he's been out with a very serious injury. But again, it's gonna come. I thought I probably honestly probably could have given him a 7, but again, he just seemed like he got into the game slowly but surely. Then he was subbed off for 6 to 9 minutes. But no, he's definitely getting there. Again, my dream is to see him and
And
Wharton.
Wharton.
That's what I want to see.
And I
How
think
that
that
dynamic
dream
works.
could. It might be a bit too early for Chelsea, but we'll do
It won't
Chelsea
be
match
Chelsea.
preview and we'll be discussing that there. But
Right.
today it was good to see him actually start because in the West
Yes.
Ham game, I was concerned not even seeing him come off the bench and Kamada coming off instead of him. So yeah, it's good to see him finally get minutes. Eze. He was the big talking point with West Ham. People talking about maybe sometimes he could release the ball a bit quicker. Got a goal and an assist today, Patrick. And as I've mentioned with Mitchell, that link-up play was more there. It was more there. And he was getting more involved by passing the ball to others.
Yeah, he needed that today. He needed that goal. He needed that assist. He needed to play well. He needed to not feel the double team pressure. He needed to a really good goal. He had that great lob that was from Guehi pass. By the way, one of Guehi's long passes that was the goal that Eze scored that was offside, that lob. So kudos to you on that, right about Guehi and the long passing. But no, solid game for him. He needed that. I'm really glad that he started. He needed confidence. I'm really glad he played really well. And again, he needs to build up that Mateta and Kamada partnership, the three of them working together. But to me, Eze played really well today. I really liked how he played defensively. He had 4 recoveries. He won 4 ground duels. So he was tackling, winning the ball back in midfield. No, today Eze was Eze that I need to see all season. Hopefully.
Kamada got on a score sheet today and got an assist as well, I believe. Yeah, with the Mateta goal.
He did.
And Patrick, the difference is he played as a number 10. That's why I gave him an 8. He's a number 10. He's not midfielder for now, anyways. He might be playing in the future, but defensively there were question marks whether he can do it or not. And today he had that less responsibilities. He can just focus on attack, and that's what he done.
Yeah, I'll repeat the quote or paraphrase the quote I mentioned during the match reaction. Glavner said he needs confidence, and you can tell that you're right. Dee, being in the number 10, working with Eze, with Mateta, with Munoz, gave him that confidence. A very well taken goal. Listen, I know it's quote only Norwich, but it was a really well taken goal. Great ball by Mateta. By the way, Mateta's a very underrated passer. By the way, he really is. To go around the keeper like that and slot it in, and then again on the short corner from Hughes, the ball for Mateta to score. Listen, man, he's going to take time. People, I know people want to expect him to right out of the jump, because he scored against every London team in European football, blah blah blah. He's a quality player. He knows Gladler's system. Give him time. But again, he needed to play well today. I'm glad he did. I thought he played really well today. So good for him.
Yeah, he did. And talking about someone else who played really well today, and that's Mateta. Both gave him a 9.
My guy.
Yeah, because Patrick was worried I was going to give Mateta a 6. I was joking, and he actually believed me. That just shows how much Patrick.
You know ball. You know ball.
Yeah, I actually thought I would give Mateta a 6 after that performance. Look, it's important when we talk about confidence players. Mateta is one of them. Him being on the score sheet, that first goal, oh my days! First of all, I'm counting that as a goal from a corner because that was a corner routine. And second of all, that definitely is. Fantastic. And then he scores another one. Mateta is back, and he's back at the right time because we've got another forward. And today, he just needed that game. And he got it. And I'm a bit more confident now looking at the Chelsea game, etc. After maybe a bit of a slow start to the first 2 games of the season.
Yeah, listen, 2 goals and assist. He only had 3 shots. He scored on 2 of them. What I really like, D, is that if you notice, if you go back and watch it, when Kamada scored, Kamada's not a very emotional player, which I noticed, but he didn't really celebrate. Mateta went to him, hugging him, trying to say, get him to smile. He's just a great guy. I know he didn't do the corner flag celebration today, right? He didn't do it today, apparently. He didn't do them. But he needed that. He needed that today. And again,
Yeah, he did
having
it, yeah.
Nketiah, did he do it? I don't think he did him today. I don't think he did
No, I
the
don't think he
keeper
did,
flag. Yeah. But it's just great to have him get his confidence back again. He's just back from the Olympics. Again, Glasner mentioned today that he's been a little bit sluggish, but he's not like he hasn't played. He just needed to get back into the flow. He's back into the flow. And again, Nketiah's going to help him, whether he pushes him or he plays next to him. Nketiah's going to help him. So listen, I'm very happy that he got his goals, and hopefully he's be off and running as of today.
Yep. Let's move on to the bench. Chris Richards came on pretty early. 7 from both of us. For me, it was a much improved performance from the West Ham game. And noticeably, Patrick, I think that performance comes after he plays down the left-hand side rather than the right. I have a theory that it could be potentially because it's easier for him to handle the cut-ins, which we've struggled with at the start of the season, with him being stronger right-footed. But today, he didn't do much wrong.
He didn't do anything wrong today. But he did lose 3 duels, which I don't remember. But again, 2 clearances, 4 recoveries, 97% passing. He only misplaced 2 passes. He was solid. And again, there's something to him playing left side. I tried to look it up when we were talking before on the match reaction. He played for US team actually on the right side. He doesn't really play on the left side except for Palace. So I'm not really sure what this phenomenon is, but he definitely can play left-sided centre-back well. He helps to protect Tyreek. Because remember, we were talking about before how both of the goals we gave up are being counterattacked on our left side. Today, there was no threat from Norwich on our left side. It was more on our right side, especially with Hernandez versus Munoz or versus Klein. So he was solid today. And again, tough situation, man. Comes in, hadn't really warmed up properly. He sees somebody get injured, but he just slotted right in. So he had a very good game today, which is good for him.
Yeah, he did. He did. Let's move on to a few other players. Wharton, very good coming off the bench. Wharton being Wharton, as you said, progressive passes were there. And that is why we both gave him a 7. It was solid performance. And Jeff came on, which, to do the dirty work, which we saw against West Ham as well. And
one thing about him, passing today, I really liked better from him. Much crisper, much quicker, and I liked it much. I really enjoyed his passing. I was really worried about his passing, but he does that sometimes. He has up and down game. One day he'll have like a 76%.
He's not a consistent passer.
So,
it's not his game.
Definitely. It's
not his game. It's just not his game.
Yeah.
But it's good to have a player like Wharton next to him where you can have Lerma doing the dirty work, which he does better than Wharton. And then you can have Wharton, be that distributor. So it's that finding that balance in midfield.
Yeah, it's a nice balance.
It was smart by Glasner bringing them both on.
Because
we didn't lose the midfield balance, which we did lose against West Ham, that midfield balance. So maybe that's the reason why I brought them on at the same time.
By the way, how lucky are we, seriously, to start Hughes and Doucoure and bring on Wharton and Lerma?
But that's my point. I think the midfield is sorted with depth. And that's the reason why we need depth in other areas. Because, imagine, for example, Nketiah coming off the bench, or I don't know, someone else. Let's say we bring another number 10 or Kamada coming off the bench.
Right.
Then we'll say, how lucky are we to say, you know what? Sarr had a bad game, or Nketiah had a bad game, or Mateta had a bad game, but player B can come on. And that's the situation with the midfield. That's the situation with the midfield.
We're getting there. We're getting there, hopefully.
Yeah. Sarr, he came on today. I thought he would have started. He didn't. I gave him a 6. You gave him a 5. He had an early chance when he did come off the bench. But yeah, there are more glimpses of the potential we can see from Sarr, especially with his pace and physicality.
Yeah. I probably should give him a 6 also. He had a shot over the bar. He had only 8 touches, and he was involved in the as a goal because I think he either deflected it or he screened the keeper. But I just think that Sarr is going to be like in America we call like a wild card. Whereas he's not going to come in and play as a 10. He's
we have that here as well, by the way. It's not like a just American word, but yeah, later.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I know what wild card is.
I've been here way too long in America that I thought that was an American.
In America, we have the word wild card. Like it's just American exclusive.
Okay, all right. I apologize to everybody. But the point being is that he just comes on and adds something different. He's not going to be like a pure 10. He'll come in and he like I said, a great example. He can run in behind better than like Kamada can, you know what I mean? So that's going to open up defenses. So I think he's getting into it. He's been getting into it slowly, but I think that today was a good way for him to kind of get into the games more. So see what happens.
Yeah, Ward came on. There isn't much to add about his performance. At times he struggled with pace, but he just come on off the bench. Didn't play that long. And then Glasner, we gave him a very low rating against West Ham, but today's the opposite, 9. I gave him a 9 because first of all, he took the game seriously. Second of all, the subs also helped, and also the changes at halftime, by not player changes, but the team talk runs it behind. So yeah, it was a very good performance by the manager.
Yeah, same as you. Lineup strong. The only difference I would have made would have been obviously play maybe Ahamada. Not sorry, not would have been to start Wharton with Doucoure, but that aside, no issues. The corner kick routine gets a 10 out of 10. And the tactics like of halftime. Again, we were a little bit sluggish up in the first half, but second half came right out, changed things around a little bit. And the subs are great. Like I said, when you can bring on Wharton and Lerma, and you can bring on Sarr, and it was fine. Like I said, so no. For me, he bounced back from that poor display he did against West Ham. So I was managing again. So he's a class manager, 9 out of 10 today.
Yep, 9 out of 10. Let us know your ratings in the comment section down below, whether you agree, disagree with us. If you have enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe. That's it from me and Patrick. And until next time, up the palace.